My name is Alex Balla, and this is my bulletin board for my first grade math lesson. And we're going to be talking about addition, so I titled it Awesome Addition. Hopefully that will catch the students' attention. Now this bulletin board aligns with Virginia Math SOL 1.5, which reads, the student will recall basic addition facts with sums to 18 or less and the corresponding subtraction facts. Now, according to my host teacher, Mrs. Anderson, she requested that we just focus on sums of 10 or less because they will focus on everything else, including subtraction, later on in the year. So that is all that this bulletin board focuses on, introducing addition and talking about addition facts up to 10 for sums. Now, students can use this board because there's a big piece of felt in the middle that they will put add-ins, which are in orange, and sums in purple to create math equations for basic addition. Now, the middle panel has a large piece of blue felt, as previously stated, a red plus sign, and then two blocks for each add-in, and a very large rectangle for the sum. The sum block was intentionally made larger to show the kids a visual of two small numbers making a larger number. So students can take add-ins out of this bag and sums out of this bag. Also, they're color-coded, so the word add-in and add-in are both orange, and the word sum is purple to match the felt. This will help visual learners and students who aren't visual learners just to associate the difference between add-ins and sums. So, for example, they could take the sum 8 and put it on the bottom part of the felt, and they could take the two add-ins 7 and 1 and place them on the top of the board. Now, as in class, I would make sure that we would say the entire equation together. So I would say 7 plus 1 equals 8, and then we would all repeat it together, and they would get a practice at saying the terminology, how to talk about addition. Another example would be using two 4s for different add-ins. So you could have 4 plus 4 equals 8. Now I have two 4s here, and I also have two sets of each number, so 0 to 9, and I have 2 of each. I also have one of each number from 1 to 10 for sums. This way they can say 4 plus 4 equals 8, and they're not limited by the fact if I just had one of each number in the add-in bag. The other parts of this bulletin board have interesting and important terms that I will also cover in the instruction, and at the end of the instruction is when we would be using this, because I would talk about what's an add-in, how do we do addition, and then they would get a chance to practice it right away, and it would help visual learners because it's very colorful but neat and tidy. It would help auditory learners because they would be hearing me say each of these terms and explaining it and listening to it, and it would also help kinesthetic learners because they get to come up and move and touch the manipulatives. So these terms are add, addition, add-in, plus sign, sum, and total. I made sure to have sum and total on the same side as the sum bag, and I made sure to have add-in on the same side as the add-in bag just so students can associate it and not get confused. So I said that add meant put together two or more numbers to make a sum or total. I said addition meant the process of adding numbers, add-in, a number that is added to another number, plus sign, the symbol used between two add-ins, the symbol used in addition, sum, the total or two or more numbers, the result in addition, and total, also the sum, and also the result in addition. Now this board was designed so that if you didn't understand part of one definition, you can reference other parts of the board to understand everything and have a full comprehension of what addition is. For example, if you're reading to put together two or more numbers to make a sum or total, but you don't know what a sum or total is, you can come over to this side and read those definitions. But if I read total, the result in addition, and I don't know what addition is, I can come back over here and understand it is the process of adding numbers. So this entire board was created to give a very simple yet thorough understanding of addition, but on a first grade level. Now to create this board, I started by cutting out this large blue piece of felt. I wanted the middle to be the main focus. I wanted the students to have a lot of space to make these equations. Then I added this white box so they could see each box that the add-in and sum are supposed to go on, as opposed to if it was just a big blue square. They know exactly where the add-ins go, which will help them visualize how the equations are made. Then I added a large red plus sign so that they had an example of this definition of a plus sign. Again, this board references itself, so students are constantly having reinforcement for each term. After that, I added these color-coded titles and labels, so the add-ins are in orange, just like the orange felt, and the sum is in purple, just like the purple felt. After that, I added these bags and adhered them with brass brads to the back of the board. So they're at the bottom because first graders are small and they wouldn't be able to reach it if I put it up top. So these add-ins and these sums are at the bottom for them to reach, and I'll have them pulled out like this, so if it's too high that they can still reach in and they're not struggling to get all the felt pieces. Next, I added these terms, and these were not a part of my original draft of this bulletin board, but I saw that it needed more space to be filled, and I thought, what better than to put definitions that will help them, so if they're doing guided practice, independent practice, their evaluation, and they just can't remember where an add-in goes, they can put it on there. Now, the practices don't have definition questions, they just have questions of making add-ins and sums, but it might help them to understand the definitions to complete those problems. So it's not giving them answers, it's just giving them guidance. Now at the very end, I added the title. Now the title goes off the top of the page a little bit because it's eye-catching, it's different, the letters aren't an exact straight line, so it's a little more fun, and they're on a black background, so it pops out, but it's not distracting from this central focus, which is right here. I also tried to use contrasting colors, but not so much that they don't look good together. It's just enough to where, hey, I'm not confusing an add-in because purple and orange are very different colors. It's not like I made add-ins orange and sums yellow because that would be too close and that might be a little bit confusing. So that is my board, and thank you very much.